Welcome to our animal-themed spelling quiz. 10 questions per level, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. 30 questions, 5 seconds each. Level 1 beginner, let's jump right in. Question 1. Which is the correct spelling of lion? If you chose C, L-I-O-N, you nailed it. Question 2. Which is the correct spelling of the word fish? If you chose B, F-I-S-H, great job. Let's see how you do on the next one. Question 3. Which is the correct spelling of frog? If you chose B, F-R-O-G, you hop to the right answer. Question 4. Which is the correct spelling of goat? If you chose B, G-O-A-T, you're the greatest of all time. Question 5. Which is the correct spelling for the word swan? If you chose A, S-W-A-N, well done. Question 6. Which is the correct spelling of horse? If you chose B, H-O-R-S-E, you're galloping ahead. Question 7. Which is the correct spelling of sheep? If you chose B, S-H-E-E-P, you're on the right track. Question 8. Which is the correct spelling of turtle? If you chose B, T-U-R-T-L-E, slow and steady wins the race. Question 9. Which is the correct spelling of hare? If you chose C, H-A-R-E, great hopping. Last question in this section. Question 10. Which is the correct spelling of the word camel? If you chose B, C-A-M-E-L, you're on the right hump. Ready to level up. Next stop, intermediate. Question 11. Which is the correct spelling of eagle? If you chose C, E-A-G-L-E, you're soaring to success. Question 12. Which is the correct spelling of zebra or zebra? If you chose C, Z-E-B-R-A, well done. On to the next. Question 13. Which is the correct spelling of dolphin? If you chose B, D-O-L-P-H-I-N, you're making a splash. Question 14. Which is the correct spelling of parrot? If you chose A, P-A-R-R-O-T, bravo. Question 15. Which is the correct spelling of giraffe? If you chose B, G-I-R-A-F-F-E, you're reaching new heights. Let's move on to the next one. Question 16. Which is the correct spelling of coyote? If you chose A, C-O-Y-O-T-E, howling success. Question 17. Which is the correct spelling of lizard? If you chose C, L-I-Z-A-R-D, bravo. On to the next. Question 18. Which is the correct spelling of penguin? If you chose B, penguin, cool choice. Question 19. Which is the correct spelling of octopus? If you chose B, octopus, you've got a strong grip on spelling. Question 20. Which is the correct spelling of squirrel? If you chose B, squirrel, way to go nuts for spelling. Ready for some tougher challenges? Let's move on to the last section. Question 21. Which is the correct spelling of chimpanzee? If you chose A, chimpanzee, smart choice. Question 22. Which is the correct spelling of orangutan? If you chose C, orangutan, you're swinging into success. Question 23. Which is the correct spelling of raccoon? If you chose C, raccoon, you're so clever. Let's see how you do on the next one. Question 24. Which is the correct spelling of iguana? If you chose A, iguana, cold-blooded but hot on spelling. Question 25. Which is the correct spelling of cheetah? If you chose A, cheetah, fast thinking. Question 26. Which is the correct spelling of rhinoceros? If you chose B, rhinoceros, you're unstoppable. Keep going. Question 27. Which is the correct spelling of tortoise? If you chose A, tortoise, excellent choice. Almost there. Question 28. Which is the correct spelling of porcupine? If you chose A, porcupine, sharp answer. Question 29. Which is the correct spelling of armadillo? If you chose A, armadillo, well protected. Last question. Question 30. Which is the correct spelling of hippopotamus? If you chose A, hippopotamus, big win. Well done. If you enjoyed this quiz, spread the love and share it with a friend. Thank you for participating. See you next time.